Bougainville Island is currently owned by Papua New Guinea, but that may change very soon. It may become the world's youngest country. From November 23rd to December 7th in 2019, the island held a referendum to decide whether they would gain independence or further autonomy. The results came in on December 11th and were a landslide win in favor of independence at 98%. However, this doesn't mean immediate independence. This result comes after a lengthy civil war and troubled past. So let's see what led up to this point. If you love Earth and geography, don't forget to subscribe so you can learn about new facts of the world regularly. So let's brush up on the history of the island first. People have been living on the island for the past 28,000 years or so, and many tribes have come to inhabit the island. 3,000 or 4,000 years ago, Austronesian people arrived, bringing with them domesticated animals, and the first European contact with Bougainville was in 1768, when this French explorer arrived and named the island after himself. In 1899, as European colonial powers were looking for new lands to conquer, Germany came and claimed the region as part of what was now called German New Guinea. During World War II, the newly formed country of Australia invaded German New Guinea and claimed the region until the Japanese invaded and took over the country for a short period. The Australians then fought to take it back and kept the territory for the next half century or so until 1975, when Papua New Guinea declared independence from Australia. But this kept Bougainville Island still part of a country it didn't really feel connected to. The people of Bougainville were not happy about this. They're a distinct people group and have a different culture from those in Papua New Guinea. Plus, Bougainville is about 775 kilometers or 425 miles away from Papua New Guinea, whereas they're only about 5 kilometers or 3 miles away from the island nation of the Solomon Islands, and it's actually the northernmost of that island chain. So needless to say, they felt isolated and totally detached from the country they were currently a part of. Copper was discovered on the island, and soon after, Australian and PNG mining companies moved in to exploit the lands. The mines became so successful that they ended up becoming 45% of PNG's profits from exports. Their economy started to rely heavily on these mines found on Bougainville. This made the people of Bougainville even more unhappy, as their land was being taken away from them for mining exploits. Money wasn't being reinvested into Bougainville, so as PNG got independence, Bougainville declared itself independent and called themselves the North Solomons. They were unrecognized, and in 1976 they ended their bid for independence. PNG saw the trouble and gave the island more governing power, but continues to exploit the island alongside Australia. In 1988, unrest continues and fighting breaks out over the mines. This leads to unrest spreading across the island and civil war eventually breaking out. The war lasted for 10 years and thousands were left dead. Peace talks extended into the early 2000s, and an agreement was made where Bougainville would remain part of Papua New Guinea but as an autonomous government, and an independence referendum would be held no later than 2020. And that leads us to present day. The vote was held in 2019 just before the deadline. The agreement is non-binding, and in the end, PNG has to approve the process. PNG is worried about losing their access to the mines, which would hurt their economy greatly. They're also worried that if Bougainville wins and they gain independence, other islands and territories that are now part of PNG might follow suit, and eventually the country will break apart and crumble. Talks have begun, but will take some time. Because of the landslide vote results, if Papua New Guinea doesn't permit independence, it's likely the UN will step in and help push it through. Once this happens, Bougainville Island will finally gain freedom and become the youngest country on Earth. If you enjoyed this video, check out this other one I made recently. Don't forget to subscribe and comment below what kind of video you'd like to see next. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.